Hey everybody, it's DJ. So I'm gonna do that class that I told you about with the ground cherries, making a ground cherry tart. I have never done this before, but I did want to. Usually I just eat the ground cherries, as you saw in the video, in the gardening video. But I figured may as well go ahead and use the ones that I got, let them ripen a little bit. They look wonderful. But I do have the recipe here, and so I wanted to make it for you so that we all know how to actually do this. First things first, I want to set my oven to bake at 400 degrees. And get that started, ready to go. So we've got the oven going, that's a good thing. Pardon me, I had a soda, as I usually do before class. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over the instructions of what to do, how to make a ground cherry tart. Unfortunately, I didn't yield enough ground cherries, like I said, so I've got my ground cherries here. And so to supplement it, I'm going to use some blackberries. Because I need 2 cups, so I need, however much I get out of these ground cherries, and then I'm going to need to fill the rest of those cups. Like if I only get 1 cup of ground cherries, then I'm going to want to use a whole other cup of blackberries. But I think the 2 flavors, just having tasted them both, will kind of work together. And I think it'll be a really good tasting tart. Well, I did go out and vote today, so I hope you've all had a chance to go vote. Filled out my ballot, and then went and dropped it over here at City Hall in El Cerrito. It's around the back just in case you live around here, but there's probably a voting place that you can drop it off at near your house. But anyway, let's get started on this. So first things first, we want to prepare everything. So like I said, mise en place, I have everything I need here. I've got my sugar, I've got my kosher salt, I have cornstarch, I have a fresh lemon for lemon juice. And then what I need to do first is take the ground cherries, and they are not washed. So they've been husked, but they need to be washed. So what I do is I use a colander, and I'll just put these in there. They need to be washed and dried. And so you always want to make sure that you wash everything. So I've got to check to make sure I'm very on cold water. You never want to do it on hot water. But again, remember you want to wash and dry it. So I'm going to go ahead and do this, wash them. Get them nice and clean. I don't know where they've been. Well, I do, but I don't know what's been on them. These, the birds love these. And so I don't know what the birds have done to them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my ground cherries here, and I'm going to put them... Oh no, I lost one! No worries. That just means I need to wash it off again. Now see, they're wet, but then all we do is we kind of fold the paper towel over and just try to roll them around. I might do this twice. What I have to do after this is measure to see how much I have, and hopefully not drop any more on the floor. Maybe I'll angle it like this. Now that I've got that, what I'm going to do is take another paper towel, which I've got right here. I'm going to go over the top like this, and just kind of roll them out and dry them. Then I'm going to dry them one by one, or few by few, and put them into my measuring cup, which is exactly 2 cups. There's one. You can grab them by the handful, just make sure you don't want to. The reason you don't want to really drop them on the floor is besides being dirty. It also bruises them. So you want to be gentle with the fruit. Be gentle with the fruit. And again, with ground cherries, a lot of people aren't sure exactly what it is. Is it a fruit? Is it a vegetable? I mean, people use it for all sorts of different things. So I wanted to go the sweet route because I prefer sweet. Well, actually, I like savory more. I do like savory more. I'm not a big sugar person, but when it comes to like baking goods and things like that, I do really prefer this. Alright, these ones are pretty well dry, so I'm just going to pick them up and get them all in there. Now we're going to be kind of close to 2 cups. Let's see where we're at. Pick it up. Yeah, so I need just a tiny bit more to fill it up to here. So again, I've got myself some blackberries. I'm going to pop that open. These also need to be washed. I'm only going to put a few in at a time. Kind of see where we're at. A little bit of water here, clean as you go. Makes the life world go roundy. Alright. Well, after I wash them, I'm going to want to dry them as well. So again, cold water on the blackberries. One knife, run through the water. I should learn from my mistakes and face it this way. Do I learn from my mistakes though? Do I really? Alright. That's a good amount of blackberries. Again, we're going to want to dry these off. Now be careful with blackberries on your counter. They can stain. I mean, they're wonderful. But again, they can stain. Look at it. It's already staining this. That's why I want to be very careful. So I'm going to grab another one, another paper towel. Kind of pop them in there, roll it around, pop it in there. Pop it in here, roll it around, pop it in there. You know, just kind of do this, make sure that they're just dry. These are actually drying pretty easily. Whoa. I think we're going to need some more blackberries. It's a good thing to know, though. We are not quite full up. Oh, that one's mushy. Tastes good, though. Now, this is why we use gloves. See, I lick my hands. Now, since it's only Melanie and I eating it, and I know where I've been, and she knows where I've been, it's not so bad. Now, if other people in the kitchen don't know where you've been, and well, you should be tasting your food anyway. Now, we're pretty much at 2 cups. I'm going to put a few more in just because I'd rather have it be full of flavor. Maybe just like 5 or 6. Go with 6. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 6 is perfect. Wash them. Get it in there. These I definitely don't know where they've been because they've been in the store. So I'm not positive where they came from. There are ways of finding out. Hope all of you have been able to stay cool. It's been kind of warm these last few days. Alright. So, there we're gonna go. Boom, boom, boom. Dry them off one by one. One here. One here. One here. One here. Here. And the last one in that little spot. And I've got myself just over 2 cups, which is what we want. So now I'm happy. Now what we get to do is combine our ingredients. Again, be careful with those blackberries. Leave a mark. Okay, so we've got everything here. So I'm going to add this to my pot, to my little bowl here. I've got my 2 cups of everything. I don't need this anymore, so what we're going to do next is we need 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. So it says tablespoons, so that's the big one. You want the big guy, not the tablespoon. I mean, yes, the tablespoon, not the teaspoon. I apologize. All right. Cornstarch. Here we go. You're gonna get 1. Again, you want to level it off as much as possible. Let's drop it on in there. 1, 2. So I've got my cornstarch, which should help stiffen things up a little bit, which is nice. And then what we're going to want to do is we want 1/3 cup of sugar. So I've got myself 1/3 cup, and again, it always says it right there on the handle, 1/3 cup. Open up my sugar here. Move this closer just to be safe. Bam, we've got ourselves some sugar. Next we want 2 tablespoons of fresh squeezed lemon juice. So what I'm going to do is I need to wash this out because I just use that for the cornstarch. Now this one's a tough one when you're doing fresh squeezed. Only because I'm never exactly sure how much to use. So what I'm going to start with is just, let's see, which knife is perfect. I'm going to go with this one. With just half of a lemon. So I'm going to take the lemon, very carefully cut it in half, set my knife off to the side, bring this over and just squeeze the heck out of it. You really want to kind of get in there. Let's see how much we get out of this. And then what's good about this is the seeds fall right in here, so they don't actually fall into the lemon juice. Because you'd want to fish those out. That wouldn't be too good. Alright, well the oven's ready. But I want to get as much as I can out of here. Set this to the side. And then there's a little spout for this one. So I can just dump it in here, but I'm going to do that over the sink so I don't spill. But I will let you know what it says. So far I got nothing. There's one. There's still a lot in there. I just don't know why it's not coming up. And there's 2. So half a lemon, pretty much. A good sized lemon. Because this isn't a... And I'm just going to dump some more in. Because I like the taste of that. Alright, so it says a pinch of kosher salt. And when they say a pinch, you basically just want to take a little, get a tiny bit in your hand, and just sprinkle that in there. But that's all it's saying, just a little bit for flavor. Now what we want to do is we want to mix this whole thing around. Get some to mix with. Go back in there. Alright. I can already see the flavor starting to come out there. like the colors and everything, but you want to mix everything so there's no chunks of like cornstarch or anything like that. That's what the lemon juice is good for. That's my watery part right there, is the lemon juice. But again, I don't want chunks of cornstarch. So I see that, I'm going to mix it in. You want to mix really well. So I'm just going to go around and fold, 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 go around and fold. Now I was going to have this be a major two-parter class, around and fold. I'm spitting up some stuff here. Round and fold. Now this is looking good. Here, that one needs a little less cornstarch on it. It's like hogging it. Like, I love the cornstarch, I don't want to let go. Round and fold. There we go. Let me wash a little bit of this off my hand. Don't want to get the blackberries everywhere. Alright. So there we go. That's your mixture. So you can see it's liquidy, but you've got all those fruits in there. And then what we're going to do, now like I said, I was going to do a two-part class and make my own crust, which I usually do. This time I cheated and I went with just a store-bought one. So now all you're going to do is you're going to put this mixture right into here, being very careful as you do it. And just divide it up as evenly as possible. So yeah, this part's a little heavy on that, so I'm going to move it over. Now when it comes to these store-bought crusts, what you're going to want to do, and then I want all these juices, all of those. Yum, yum, yum. Scrape, scrape, scrape. I want all of it. But what you want to do is you're supposed to put them in the freezer right after you get them. And then you want to take them out and let them thaw for about 15 to 20 minutes before you put them in the oven. And so it's been about 15 to 20 minutes since I started the class. So now that everything's added in there, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this in the oven. And I'm going to let it bake for, what does it say? It says for roughly 25 minutes. Let's take this and then put it in the oven. Careful, oven is hot, it's at 400 degrees. And I set my tart in there. And I'm really going to want to check on it and make sure it's not browning too much, so I might want to turn it down to 350. If the edges of the tart start to get kind of brown, like too brown, then what you're going to want to do is put foil over that. But anyway, this is first part of class. Second part of class will be easy. It'll just be me showing you what the final product looks like. Alright, it's good to see everybody. I'll talk to you soon.